Welcome to my exciting new video series exploring the world of religions. Today's episode will be about Hinduism. By the end of this video, you should have an understanding of the basics of this religion. So, let's start this objective and informative video about Hinduism. Please note that I am not a religious researcher, theologian, or specialist in Hinduism. I am an enthusiast with a passion for reading and learning about various religions and philosophies. If you are interested, check out my other videos. I hope you have a pleasant time watching them. Hinduism, estimated to have originated between 5500 BCE and 1500 BCE, is considered the oldest continuously practiced religion in the world. With over 1 billion followers, it has no single founder and is a conglomerate of diverse beliefs and traditions. Modern Hinduism arose from the ancient Vedas and shares some characteristics with other Indo-European religions like Zoroastrianism, with a strong emphasis on nature gods. While some view Hinduism as a way of life called Sanātana Dharma, which translates to eternal law and refers to the overarching philosophical system, Hinduism itself focuses on the specific religious practices and traditions that have flourished on the Indian subcontinent for millennia. Sanātana Dharma encompasses the core principles, faith, practices, philosophy, and ethics of Hinduism. It emphasizes the timelessness of spiritual truths and their fundamental nature to human existence. The roots of Hinduism stretch back about 3.5 millennia, possibly even further. The Indus Valley civilization likely laid the foundation for the religion, and the arrival of Indo-Aryans around 1500 BCE further influenced its development. While there's wide acceptance of Hinduism's status as one of the oldest religions, the exact date of its origin is still debated by scholars. The words Hindu and India are similar for a reason, as they originate from the same word. The ancient name of the Indus River in Sanskrit is Sindhu. The term Hindu was used for the people living across the Sindhu River. Fundamental concepts. The religion of Hinduism has a very long and complex history. In this chapter, I aim to outline the fundamental beliefs and basic doctrines of Hinduism. 1. Brahman, the singular universal soul. Hindus believe in a unique, all-encompassing universal soul called Brahman. According to them, Brahman is a formless, shapeless source from which the entire reality originates. Brahman creates and pervades everything in the universe, transcending human understanding as both immanent and transcendent. 2. Atman, the immortal individual soul. Hindus refer to the soul as Atman. They believe each soul manifests in the bodies of living beings, expressing their unique characteristics. Upon death, Hindus believe the soul undergoes reincarnation, transferring to a new body. Atman represents the innermost essence of each being, transcending physical existence. 3. Karma. The nature of the physical body into which a soul is reborn is influenced by karma, which means action. Contrary to common misconception, karma pertains to the consequences of negative actions and positive deeds. Thus, karma encompasses both the beneficial and adverse consequences of actions driven by intention. 4. Samsara, the cycle of rebirth. A fundamental concept in Hinduism, it posits that the individual soul, or Atman, undergoes cycles of birth, life, death, and rebirth in new bodies. The accumulation of karma governs this cyclic existence and continues until the soul achieves final liberation, or moksha. 5. Moksha, the ultimate goal of Hindu existence. Moksha signifies liberation, where the soul reunites with Brahman, escaping the cycle of death and rebirth. This attainment is reached when individuals recognize and unite with Brahman through spiritual realization, selfless action, and a deep understanding of one's true nature. A well-known Hindu prayer reflects this aspiration. Lead me from the unreal to the real. 6. Dharma. Dharma is challenging to translate succinctly, but can be described as righteous behavior or duty. It encompasses the moral and ethical responsibilities that maintain the balance of the universe. Righteous behavior ensures harmony among all living beings and their environment. Dharma varies for each being based on factors such as age, gender, and social role. For example, the righteous duty of a king differs from that of a servant, but balance is upheld when everyone acts according to their dharma. 7. The Vedas, the sacred scriptures of Hinduism. Comprising four main texts, Hindus believe the Vedas are divine revelations received by ancient sages. They contain hymns, rituals, and philosophical teachings that guide religious practice and spiritual understanding. While faith in the Vedas is central to Hinduism, it's important to note that Hindu literature extends beyond the Vedas, encompassing a vast corpus of epics, Puranas, and other texts. We will discuss this topic in more detail later in the video. 8. Srishti and Pralaya, or cyclicality. The cyclical nature of the universe involves periods of creation, Srishti, preservation, and dissolution, Pralaya. This reflects the eternal cycle of birth, death, and rebirth on a cosmic scale. Time is viewed as a series of eons or cycles, each containing 4 ages totaling approximately 4,320,000 earthly years. According to Hindu belief, declining morality at the end of each cycle leads to total destruction, marking the end of the era. Currently, Hindus believe we are in the 4th and final age of the cycle, known as Kali Yuga. This will also be discussed in more detail later. Hinduism encompasses a diverse range of philosophical schools, with 3 main systems standing out. 1. Samkhya. This dualistic philosophy proposes 2 eternal realities, Purusha, pure consciousness, and Prakriti, primordial matter. The universe arises from the interaction of these 2 realities. Samkhya emphasizes self-realization, distinguishing between the unchanging Purusha and the ever-changing Prakriti. 2. Yoga. Often associated with physical postures, yoga is a broader philosophy focused on achieving liberation, moksha. It outlines various paths, including karma yoga, path of action, jnana yoga, path of knowledge, and bhakti yoga, path of devotion, all aimed at uniting the individual soul, Atman, with the universal Brahman. 3. Vedanta. This monistic philosophy emphasizes Brahman as the ultimate reality, the single universal principle underlying all existence. The phenomenal world, Maya, is considered an illusion. Vedanta emphasizes jnana yoga, knowledge, to achieve liberation by realizing the oneness of Atman and Brahman. Yoga, meaning union or connection, aims to unite the individual soul, Atman, with the universal soul, Brahman. Yoga takes various forms, each aiding spiritual development through different methods. Hatha yoga focuses on physical exercises and postures, asanas, strengthening the body and preparing it for meditation. A crucial aspect of Hatha yoga is pranayama, breathing exercises that help control internal energies. Raja yoga, known as the royal path, emphasizes meditation and developing awareness. It consists of 8 steps: moral precepts, personal rules, postures, breathing exercises, withdrawal of senses, concentration, meditation, and union with the self. Jnana yoga pursues enlightenment through philosophical understanding and self-realization. Karma yoga practices selfless action, performing deeds without expectation of rewards. Bhakti yoga, the path of devotion, achieves spiritual enlightenment through deep love and devotion to God. Bhakti, meaning sharing or devotion, expresses itself in forms like listening, singing, remembering, service at the feet of the divine, worship, prayer, servitude, friendship, and self-surrender. Bhakti practitioners believe that devotion and love lead to moksha, or final liberation. In Hinduism, the 4 aims of life are essential for a person to lead a happy and fulfilling life, and for spiritual growth, which is vital for devotees. These aims are: 1. Dharma, ensures moral foundation and the order of life. 2. Artha, facilitates material security and prosperity. 3. Kama, provides sensual and emotional satisfaction. 4. Moksha, represents spiritual freedom and ultimate happiness. Devotees believe that a harmonious balance of these 4 aims leads to the highest happiness and development, aligning the individual with both the inner and outer world. Hindus also believe that to achieve their ultimate goal, they must resist 6 temptations. 1. Kama, dependency on material things. 2. Krodha, anger. 3. Lobha, greed. 4. Moha, unrealistic attachment to things, people, and power. 5. Mada, pride. 6. Matsarya, jealousy. By following Dharma and avoiding these 6 temptations, a Hindu can break the cycle of rebirth, allowing their soul to merge back into Brahman, like a drop of water returning to the ocean. Everything originates from Brahman in their view. Hinduism has several main branches, just like Christianity, Islam, or Buddhism. The most important of these are as follows. Vaishnavism. Vaishnavas worship Vishnu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and focus on his various incarnations or avatars, such as Rama and Krishna. The teachings found in the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavata Purana are very important for Vaishnavas. Shaivism. Shaivas worship Shiva, the deity responsible for the destruction of the universe. The Shaiva Agamas and the Shaiva Siddhanta philosophy are essential literary sources for Shaivas. Shaktism. Shaktas worship the Divine Mother, the female embodiment of the deity, who appears in various forms such as Durga, Kali, or Lakshmi. Shakti is the divine feminine energy that creates and sustains the universe. The Shakti Tantra and the Devi Mahatmya are important sacred texts for Shaktism. Smartism. Smartas accept all deities and believe that all gods are different manifestations of the same supreme being. The sacred texts of the Smarta tradition include the Vedas, the Upanishads, and the Advaita Vedanta philosophy, which teaches the concept of non-duality. Non-duality, or Advaita in Sanskrit, is a religious and philosophical concept that asserts the entire universe, and all beings are part of a single absolute reality. This absolute reality is the only existing entity, and non-duality means there is no separation or duality between beings, but everything is part of a unified, interconnected reality. Books and sacred texts. There are 2 categories of sacred texts in Hinduism: Shruti, revealed texts, and Smriti, remembered texts. The revealed texts, Shruti, were heard by ancient sages, rishis, in a state of deep meditation. The remembered texts were created later by humans. The Shruti literature consists of the Vedas, books of knowledge, and the Upanishads. The Vedas are divided into 4 sections. 1. The Rig Veda, or Book of Hymns, is a collection of songs praising the gods and discussing concepts like truth, reality, and the universe. It also includes dialogues about wars, weddings, and rituals. 2. The Yajur Veda contains sacrificial ceremonies and rituals. 3. The Sama Veda is dedicated to songs of praise for the gods, and it is unique among the Vedas for its musical approach, resembling song lyrics. The word Sama literally means sweet song, which dispels sorrow. 4. The Atharva Veda is the broadest of the 4 Vedas, encompassing a wider range of topics than the others. While it does contain some hymns related to influencing the world around you, such as invoking rain or curing diseases with herbs, it also covers philosophy, social order, and practical aspects of life. Alongside the Vedas are the Upanishads, which can be seen as continuations or interpretations of the Vedas. These Upanishads were most likely written between 800 and 500 BCE. At the time when some Hindus began questioning the Vedas, the thoughts of contemporary religious thinkers crystallized into the Upanishads. There are 108 Upanishads, but only about 10 are famous or popular. These are philosophical texts dealing with questioning, doubting, debating, and finding answers to life's profound questions. One of the key themes of the Upanishads is that people are not their minds, bodies, or egos, but their Atman, soul. According to these texts, your soul, or Atman, is your true self, while everything else is unreal and temporary. Beyond the Vedas and Upanishads, Hinduism includes other Smriti texts, which are remembered and revered. These significant writings are essential for understanding the religion. Among these are the 2 great epics, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. The Bhagavad Gita, a philosophical text inserted within the Mahabharata, is also highly revered. Equally important are the Puranas, a vast collection of texts that explore Hindu mythology, cosmology, history, and rituals. The Mahabharata, traditionally attributed to the sage Vyasa, is believed to have been compiled over a long period, possibly beginning around the 9th century BCE, but reaching its current form much later. This epic poem, known as the world's longest, narrates the power struggle between the Pandava and Kaurava families. Interwoven with numerous episodes, it delves into themes of duty, righteousness, and the complexities of war, reflecting the complexities of life. The Ramayana, an epic poem attributed to Valmiki, 4th to and BCE with later additions, tells the beloved story of Prince Rama of Ayodhya. Divided into 2 parts, it explores ethical dilemmas, features divine figures, avatars, and narrates Rama's 14-year exile, his wife Sita's abduction, his battle with the demon Ravana, and his courageous monkey ally Hanuman. The Bhagavad Gita, renowned as the most famous Hindu scripture, the Song of the Adorable One, was composed around the 2nd century BC and forms the 6th part of the Mahabharata. It offers profound theological insights into the nature of God and life. The Bhagavad Gita, or simply Gita, is one of Hinduism's most important texts. It is set on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, where 2 related families, the Pandavas and the Kauravas, are preparing for war. Arjuna, one of the Pandava heroes, falls into despair and a moral crisis when he realizes he must kill his own relatives, teachers, and friends in battle. At this moment, Krishna enlightens Arjuna on issues of life, duty, righteous action, and spiritual wisdom. The main teachings of the Gita can be understood through 4 aspects. 1. Dharma, duty. Arjuna must fulfill his duties as a warrior, even if it is difficult and painful. 2. Karma, action. Actions are unavoidable, but they must be performed dutifully and selflessly. 3. Jnana, knowledge. True knowledge recognizes the self and its connection with divinity. 4. Bhakti, devotion. Devotion is one of the highest forms of religious practice. The Bhagavad Gita synthesizes the 3 main Hindu philosophical systems, Yoga, Sankhya, and Vedanta, offering a comprehensive view of Hindu spiritual thought. It has become a fundamental text of Hindu spirituality and philosophy, influencing religious and philosophical thought worldwide. The Puranas can be likened to the memory of Hindu beliefs, forming an encyclopedic and essential part of Indian religious literature. The word Purana means ancient story. These texts primarily contain myths, legends, religious teachings, and historical events. They narrate the stories of various gods and goddesses, helping to pass down religious traditions and teachings. There are 18 Puranas. These texts discuss not only religious but also philosophical, cultural, and historical topics. They cover various subjects such as military organization, taxation, the caste system, the gods, and general matters, providing a comprehensive view of Indian religion and society. Hindus believe in 4 great ages, or yugas, which represent cyclical epochs in Hinduism. Each yuga is believed to be shorter than the previous one, with a gradual decline in morality and spiritual purity. 1. Satya Yuga, the age of truth and righteousness. 2. Treta Yuga, the age where moral values decline. 3. Dvapara Yuga, the age of further decline in truth and virtue. 4. Kali Yuga, the current age, Kali Yuga, is considered the age of darkness and ignorance. Many Hindus believe that at the end of this yuga, Shiva performs the cosmic dance of destruction, Tandava, to pave the way for the universe's renewal. The Hindu Pantheon. Hinduism features a vast pantheon of deities, with many regional variations. Here's a look at some of the most prominent gods and goddesses. The Trimurti. This is a central trinity representing the cycle of creation, preservation, and destruction. Brahma, the 4-headed creator god, often depicted with a book and riding a swan. His consort is Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge and learning. Vishnu, the preserver god, responsible for maintaining cosmic order. He's often shown with a discus and has many avatars, earthly forms, like Rama and Krishna, who uphold righteousness, Dharma. His consorts are Lakshmi, fortune, and Bhudevi, earth, Shiva, the destroyer god who clears the way for renewal at the end of each cosmic cycle. He's often depicted with a third eye and rides a bull. His wife is Parvati, and his sons include Ganesha, remover of obstacles, and Murugan, god of war. Other important deities: Ganesha. This elephant-headed deity is beloved for his ability to remove obstacles and bring good luck. He's said to be the son of Shiva and Parvati, created by Parvati to guard her. When Shiva, unaware of Ganesha's identity, tried to enter, a fight ensued. Shiva, remorseful after accidentally decapitating Ganesha, replaced his head with that of an elephant, bringing him back to life. Shakti, the embodiment of divine feminine energy, often depicted as the consort of Shiva. She represents power, creativity, and destruction. Indra, the king of the gods associated with the sky, rain, thunder, and war. His importance has diminished somewhat over time, but he remains a significant figure. Hanuman, the monkey god, a loyal devotee of Rama and a symbol of strength, perseverance, and selfless service. The Hindu caste system. The Hindu caste system is a hierarchical social structure with deep roots in Indian history. While its exact origins are debated, it developed over centuries, with scriptures like the Rig Veda containing mentions of social classes. The Bhagavad Gita, a central Hindu text, emphasizes fulfilling one's duties, dharma, within one's caste. The Bhagavad Gita does not restrict movement between castes, and the caste system functioned relatively well for a long time. A significant influence on the caste system was the Laws of Manu, a legal text that solidified caste hierarchy and restricted social mobility. This text, along with social customs, led to the emergence of the untouchables, who face severe social exclusion and discrimination. This text covers various aspects of dharma, duty, criminal law, family law, inheritance, hospitality, and social responsibility. It also deals with the Varnasrama Dharma, which governs an individual's social role and responsibilities based on caste and stage of life. The laws of Manu prohibit movement between castes. The caste into which one is born is the caste in which they will die. Hinduism distinguishes four main castes or classes into which one can be born. 1. Brahmins, priests. These individuals traditionally held religious and scholarly roles. They were responsible for performing rituals, studying scriptures, and guiding spiritual practices. 2. Kshatriyas, warriors. Kshatriyas were warriors, rulers, and administrators. They protected society, maintained law and order, and governed kingdoms. 3. Vaishyas, merchants. Vaishyas engaged in trade, commerce, and agriculture. They were responsible for economic activities and wealth creation. 4. Shudras, laborers. Shudras performed manual labor and service roles. They supported the functioning of society through various occupations. According to the Purusha Sukta, a hymn from the Rig Veda, the cosmic being Purusha was dismembered to create different social classes. Brahmins emerged from his mouth, Kshatriyas from his arms, Vaishyas from his thighs, and Shudras from his feet. However, the myth doesn't explain the development of the caste system over centuries, the emergence of numerous subcastes, or the concept of untouchables. It can be generally stated and observed that when a hierarchy forms in a society, oppression sooner or later arises. Over time, Hindus began to think in terms of upper and lower castes. Occupations such as cleaning toilets, collecting garbage, tanning hides, and handling meat products began to be considered unclean, and only members of the lower castes could perform these tasks. Those who performed these difficult and dirty jobs lost their social value and became untouchable in the eyes of society. The word Dalit is of Sanskrit origin and means broken or scattered. Dalits form a group that represents the lowest stratum of the traditional Hindu caste system and face social exclusion and discrimination. In modern India, the caste system is officially abolished. However, its legacy continues to influence social dynamics. While many young Hindus condemn the system and pursue opportunities freely, caste realities persist. The fight for social equality and ending discrimination based on caste remains an ongoing struggle in India. The vast canvas of Hindu cosmology. Hindu cosmology presents a rich and complex view of the universe, Brahmanda, encompassing both the visible and invisible realms. This vast cosmic egg cycles through creation, destruction, and recreation. Time itself unfolds in grand yugas, eons, each with its characteristics. Within Brahmanda lie diverse planes of existence called lokas, Our material world is known as Bhuloka, while Martyaloka refers specifically to the world of humans. Elevated realms like Svarloka or Devaloka serve as the abodes of various deities, with Indra, the king of gods, residing in Svarloka. Bhuvarloka represents intermediate planes between the material and divine. Brahmaloka, the world of Brahma, the creator god, stands apart as a special realm. Below Bhuloka lie the nether regions known as Talas. We've reached the end of the video. These are the basics of Hinduism this video covers. However, it is important to note that the information presented in the video does not cover everything, since Hinduism is one of the most complex religions in the world, with a vast history and richly diverse teachings. Hinduism is simply too multifaceted and profound to be fully comprehended in a short time. So, I am planning to make more videos on this subject. I sincerely hope you enjoyed the presentation and found it useful. If you liked the video, please subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. Stay curious, stay brave. Goodbye.